Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
Hi, everybody, wherever you may be from coast to coast and sea to shot and sea. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, where the world comes to talk radio.
Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom, getting higher than the Empire State. My lover, she is waiting for me just across the bar. My seat's been taken by some sunglasses, asking about a scar. And I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget, but between the drinks and subtle things, the holes in my apologies, you know, I'm trying hard to take it back. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. No, I know that I'm not all that you got. I guess that I just thought maybe we could find new ways to fall apart. But our friends are back, so let's raise a toast. 'Cause I found someone to carry me home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun.
The group is known as Fun. That's it. Just Fun. This is a huge song, guys. Really is. It peaked here in the States in the #1 spot. It's peaked at #1 the first week it came out back in March of 2012, and it also had 6 weeks at the top, 42 weeks in total on the 40. And it was the first song to log 6 consecutive weeks with over 300,000 digital downloads. Reached #1 in countries including the UK, plus Canada, Australia, and it won Song of the Year in the Grammy Awards and a Diamond Award as well from the RIAA, surpassing over 10 million units here in the States. I guess they had fun. I would say they did, right? The song We Are Young, getting a little bit more modern with the music today on the show. Hi, everybody. Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. And from around the world, let's scoop you up, get you into the checkout line, and say, away we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We got to figure it out. Nope. Let me just go scoot over because, you know, there's only so much room in the shack. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. A very happy Wednesday to you. My name's Larry Dio. My call sign in amateur radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome to Ham Radio Live, where the world comes to talk radio. We got a neat segment today. We're going to talk about diversity receive. We did receive antennas on Monday's show from this week. We also did them on Thursday of last week's show. But today we're going to show you a very powerful tool that a lot of radios can allow you to use to help fight QSB. Now, fading can be a big deal, especially when you're trying to make calls quickly. If you're trying to contest, for example, your whole thing is to get as many calls as possible every hour. And diversity receive can certainly help you do that. Also, if you're a great DXer, if you love to DX, but QSB, which means fading, if you're new to amateur radio lingo, it can kind of slow you down with getting a signal, especially a gray line signal. Think about this. You're on 40, gray line, right? Not much time. You got some time there, but it's not infinite. And you know it's gray line. You know it is because it's coming from about halfway around the world. And it's coming up and it's coming back down. And you're hearing it. So you have a given amount of time to hear that signal, but it's fading in and out. A diversity receive and two antennas placed enough room apart can help you accomplish that. We'll talk about that today. Also, we're going to talk about something you'd like to add to your shack soon. And that could be whatever you want to maybe get for your shack. We could talk about that. And a neat segment too. You guys will like this. It's kind of a fun segment. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really good. You'll like it coming up in the program today, as well as 3 trivia questions that you'll leave from and you'll learn something. Let's find out who's first, second, and third today on our Wednesday show from Central Florida. It's good to see you guys. Currently 95 degrees here in Central Florida. Heat advisory in the forecast. And by the way, I didn't show you the LP of that song, We Are Young. This is the album. It's called Some Nights. They don't have to be too creative. The word fun's not there. I'm a bit disappointed, but that's all right. Here's the back of it. I guess if you sell over 10 million, then you probably should be able to kind of, do what you want to. So works out for you, right? And the record company wins because they make bunches of dollars. First up today, I think this is the first time it's ever happened, although I don't like the camera bumped up against my face like that. I'm just a little bit right there. Perfect. We'll welcome our dear friend Dennis. Good to see you, Dennis. You did it. His call sign is Kilo Fox 0 Romeo Lima X-ray. Let's give him a big meep meep weird. Meep meep. Thank you, Dennis. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. First up, good for you, man. North America's in the house. Welcome. Second up, it comes from Great Britain, and that would be continent number 2. Barry Wendon, Golf 6, Juliet Mike X-ray. Hi, Barry. Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Gosh, it's great to see you. Coming in third today from North America, it's Bill Myers of the state of Wisconsin. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. Hello, Bill. We got a fun group here today. In fact, Bill, bless his heart, because, he was showing off the QRP net hat, right? Because he bought one. They sent it to him. He was all excited, right? He's taking the picture. Actually, Kelly's probably taking the picture, his wife, Kelly. And she's got the picture of Bill, and Bill's out there. He's got a big smile on his face, looking good and everything. And he's wearing a T-shirt that says Nimrod. So I'm like, we kind of talked about that. Well, we poked fun at Bill for a while, really. To be fair, sorry, Bill. But Bill's been really cool about it. Bless his heart. He knows it's nothing personal. And look what he types in. This is great. Nimrod Bill is in the house of Larry. We'd like to welcome you, Bill. Welcome here. Oh, gosh. You love a guy that can just take it a little bit and then give it back to. Bill's good. He's a good guy. We're good to have Bill here. Good to see Jeff as well from Canada. Victor Echo 3, Whiskey, Juliet. Thanks for putting the call sign. I have it, I think, memorized now, but, it's Larry's brain. Who knows? Mike, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. You got us on at work. I'm glad we are here with you today. His call sign, Kilo Golf 2 Mike, lives up in Jacksonville. Mike's a retired NYPD guy, and he's seen so many things. Thank God I've never seen. Mike, thank you. Thank you for what you've done in your life, and thank you for being a dear friend, too. Welcome to the program, my friend. It's always good to see you, Mike. Truly is. Also, Gunther in Germany is here. DK50NV, welcome, my friend. He says, happy hump day, everybody. Yes, it is, and thank goodness it is. Indeed. Randy's here all the way from the beautiful state of Indiana. Lowell, Indiana, to be fair, His call sign, November Delta 9 Golf. Great to see you, Randy. Thanks for coming today. It's always better when you're here. Thank you. And there's our dear friend Don, all the way in Texas, November 5, Sierra Kilo Tango. Don sent something to the email here, which we'll get to. His is the last thing from the email, but we'll do it during the diversity reception piece. And you'll like it. The stuff he shared with me is very, very good. And it's very helpful for people who might just have a problem with a lot of QS beaker, which is that darn fading, right? Maybe this could help you. Now, it's not guaranteed, but it is a viable solution to help you with QSB on the bands. Bill, welcome. A very happy Wednesday. And there's our dear friend Kelly. That's Bill's wife, by the way. And she still loves Peter Tork an awful lot. Kelly, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. It's an honor to have you here in the show. Again, my goodness, thank you for coming. I mean that very well. Yes. And Randy says, not K-Tel. Oh, I digress. Yes. Joshua, welcome. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you. He says, is that a Cub shirt? Yes, sir, it is. This is an old one. This is for the year after they won the World Series. And the one thing I can say about that, Randy, is that, honestly, I can say the day before I died, at least I know they won it once. And a lot of people couldn't do that. So that was pretty neat. I fell on my knees and I cried my eyes out. And I did. Daniel from New Hampshire is here. Welcome. He said, Nimrod Bill is in the house of Larry. Is that like ham radio astrology? It could be. It kind of reminds you a little bit of that song. Oh, gosh. Not Moody Blues. Oh, gosh. Trying to come up with it. The House of the Rising Sun. Remember that one? It kind of reminds you a little bit of that. Probably you too, Daniel. Thanks for the memory. Bill, good to see you as well. And Randy, and of course, my dear friend Daniel as well. Man. Tom, welcome. Good to see you. He's all the way in Bulgaria. His call sign legally would be Lima Zulu Stroke, Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa for his U.S. call sign. And then he's also got a Kingdom of Bahrain call sign, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey. Welcome. Kevin joins us all the way from the beautiful state of Iowa, Kilo 0 Kilo Lima Bravo. Fun YouTube channel. Lots of stuff you can learn there and have fun doing it too. Thanks, Kev. Chris is here from New York State. He's a great guy. He's all the way up at the top of the Empire State Building right now as we speak. And that's pretty neat, right? Yeah, Chris lives in New York City. Man, oh man. I want to go to New York City and visit once. New York City, I want to see New York City. I want to see Boston. I want to see Washington. Those are big deals. Philadelphia kind of, because there's a lot of history in Philadelphia too. But yeah, it'd be great to go up there and see them. Because when we lived on the West Coast, man, you see all the cities and towns on the West Coast because you live there. This is our chance to see some places that are really darn cool here on the East Coast. Good to see you, Chris, and thank you for being here today. I think that's just about everybody. Chris says, Red Sox also broke the spell, too. They sure did. Same general manager. Bless his heart. The Animals. Was that it? We got to find out. Now it's going to drive us nuts. Hold on. It'll drive me crazy. So let's just figure it out. House. I don't think it's the Animals. It could be, though. Of the Rising Sun. And it says it is the Animals. Yes. My gosh, Dennis, you got it correct. First trivia question. Dennis, he might be the only person to go 4 for 4. He's the only guy here that can. Thank you, Dennis. That's great. That's a good comment. Spike is here all the way from the beautiful state of Montana, and this just in. Spike lives at the edge of a volcano. What else can you say? He says, good morning. The volcano rumbled yesterday, 3.5 on the Richter scale. Nothing to be concerned about, but it would have been headlines, and that would have been Eric Burden and the Animals. And you are correct, sir. You are correct, yes. I was trying to think of the name of it because the way Daniel worded this, doesn't it kind of sound like some lyrics from that song? Let me get it back up here. There's a lot of comments today. Right here. Nimrod Bill, in the house of Larry. Is that a ham radio astrology? Kind of in the house of the Larry. Anyway, sorry. The jokes don't get better, guys. If you don't like it by now, you probably should leave. There's probably something else on YouTube like competitive knitting. Watch that. It's kind of fun. Let's get you the information that we come to help you with. If you'd like to get your ham radio license, contact the American Radio Relay League at www.arrl.org. That's 2 R's in the middle, www.arrl.org. Click on the contact part of their page and tell them you'd like to get your ham license. Then wait for an email back. they're going to send you a ham club close to you in that email. Then contact the club. That's how it works. Then you're going to be on the road to getting yourself a ham license, just like that. www.hamradiolive. No, www.arl.org. Sorry, guys. Also, a great Discord channel where you can ask questions, find out stuff and all that unique stuff that we do in radio, which is kind of fun. And that's at ham-radio-live. That's ham-radio-live. You can talk it up. Antenna building. Maybe you're going to build a specific type of antenna. Maybe you're curious about a kind of antenna. Perhaps you want to get help with the license exam. Right there at ham-radio-live. And it's free on Discord. Our website is done by Rodney the Great in the Netherlands. We love Rodney. This is a really neat site. He said he's going to be doing some updates to it in the month of August. So, oh man, just a few days. Hang on a second. You know, I'm not sure why they call it a frog in your throat, but anyway. It's at www.hamradiolive.org. It's a great place where you can get all kinds of information of things going on in radio, not just ham radio, but things that are going on in radio itself. So band conditions, the expeditions, contests, also ham clubs are there. And Rodney's going to do some other stuff to it, which is going to make it even cooler. I'm looking forward to seeing what Rodney the Great can create. Today's topic question has to do with something you're pining over, something you can't wait. You're between pulling the credit card out or bringing the IRA down to buy something for your shack. What is it? Tell us in the comments. And if you're watching this on replay, let us know in the comments of our replay for the show, and we'll make it part of today's program. Your HF weather today is powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. SFI is down a little bit from yesterday, not much. I said it would be pretty stable, and it has been. It should stay pretty stable. We might even get over 150. We'll have to see as the weekend progresses. But SFI 143, sunspot numbers up. Now, that metric is better by a lot, actually, about 10%. So we might see a precipitous increase in the SFI starting tomorrow. A index is 8, that's very low, and the K index is 1, which also is very low. That would be very quiet on the scale there. Look at the band conditions there. HF bands from 80 to 10. If you're in the tropics, 12 and 10 are open. They are always open unless there's a complete radio blackout due to a coronal mass ejection or possibly some really bad energy coming at us from a coronal hole. But it's just one of those things. You know, here in the north, no, not gonna find 10. Might find 12 later in the day. We'll talk about that as well. Also, still no report from the maximum usable frequency Digison at Boulder. The magnetosphere view is it shows why that we have an increase in sunspot number. Yesterday, 4498, which is quite large, was right at the edge on the eastern limb of the sun, right? Well, today it's come over quite a bit more, and there's a lot of X-ray radiation coming towards Earth. So that's why I think we might see a bump in our solar flux index numbers today. Maximum usable frequencies, you can see that dive down south on the HF bands from the northern hemisphere. If you're on 17, if you're on 20, it's more like on 17 and 15, though. 17 and 15 could give you some great DX south. This rarely happens this way. I mean, usually it's very linear. It's east to west, right? And then it kind of picks up or goes down a long ways out there. But right around sunrise, that's where it pops down. So, take a look at the map at when you're, working your radio today or tomorrow, and notice where the sunlight, where the sunrise is at, and you should see a real drop south. It's an excellent time to work south and get some great DX out there for sure. Here's a closer look at this. Notice, like if you're, for example, in Spain, right? You're on 24 megs. You're just trying so hard to get up there on the 12-meter band. But look at how that band comes way south and cuts into Argentina and just misses the southern part of Brazil. But you get the point, right? So if that's not working, go up to 15 And look at 15. It hits the bottom of Chile. It's just a great, great time to work your radio and get some DX on some bands that maybe you don't normally see them on. Southern Hemisphere, here's what it looks like. 20 to 10, normal day in the winter in the Southern Hemisphere. Your HF forecast, powered by ICOM for the love of ham radio. Stable SFIs on your ham bands, S0 to S2 noise floors at times through Friday. Best DX in the north, 20, 17, 15 in the 12-meter band. Best DX if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, 20 to 10. Nighttime ham bands, stable solar flux index numbers, noise floors S0 to S2 through Friday. Nighttime amateur bands 160, 80, 60, 40, and the 20-meter band. Still a great time to work 20 after dark. Shortwave DXers, daytime shortwave, quiet noise floors. You want that. Plus good SFIs make great DX. It really does. Occasional fading at times on signal. Shortwave daytime bands, 31 meters, 25, 22, 19, 15, and 13. Nighttime shortwave stable SFIs, quiet noise floors through Friday. Good conditions to DX on shortwave at night. All the bands are open, and the top DX bands, 90, 75, 60, 49 meters, 41, 31, 25, and 19 meters after dark. It's going to be brilliant for you today. And it's going to run here in the Northern Hemisphere about 4 or 5 hours after sunset. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you got about 2 hours after sunset. So you should have some really good conditions to work the HF bands, guys. There's your forecast. I appreciate you watching the show. Thanks for being here on a Wednesday. Just a second here. That's the pregnant pause I don't like. It's just a little weird to me. Anyway, today's topic question we'll get to in a moment. It's things you want to add to your shack, okay? Things that you'd like to put on the desk and have. Now, it could be a vintage piece, right? Maybe some of the shows we've done recently, we've shown you some Drake and some Heathkit stuff. Maybe one of those might pick your interest or something, right? Maybe it's a later model radio, something you'd like to have on your desk. Could be an accessory like, an SWR meter, a power meter, pardon me. And those are SWR2s, they show you reflected power. But like a meter, or it could be a noise cancellation thing, something like that. Might be something cool. Let us know in the comments and we'll make it part of the show. Our email here is info@hamradiolive.org. It's really fun to get your comments, and I thank you for sending them. I saw something today, and I said, I got to show this to everybody. I got to share this with the group. This is great. I saw this license plate in the back of a golf cart, and most people use golf carts here in the villages. We are the people who don't. We prefer, air conditioning and comfort. That's us. But here's the license plate. You'll get a kick out of this. Look at this. It's from '64, New York World's Fair. That's a legal license plate from back in the day. Look at that. Even has the 65 New York sticker, the licensing tab still with it. The New York World's Fair from 1964 license plate. And to give you an idea of how impactful that World Fair was, there were like Disney rides that they brought to New York City to be at that World's Fair. One of them was the Small World ride. You can't ever get the song out of your head, It's a Small World. Anyway, that's one of them. The other one was Carousel of Progress, which they used to have at Disneyland. Then they took it out, and they have it still here in Orlando, Kissimmee, technically. But it's really cool that that's still here as well. And speaking of that one ride, that ride is the first one that Disney's making that's going to have Walt Disney actually as an animatronic figure moving around and talking during the show. And that's coming up, I believe in September, they'll have that finished. But they have enough of Walt's recordings and, audio tape, stuff like that, that they've digitized. And it's the very first time you'll see Walt Disney as a full character standing up and speaking to the public since 1966. Kind of interesting. Also, we had somebody, it was Anders, Lima Bravo 3 Yankee India, I hope. But he came in a couple of days ago and he asked about how solar eclipses can impact propagation on HF bands. And I explained that on 40, I noticed a big increase. It was quite extensive. I had the radio on. I had a weird way of doing it because I had a camera, an old VHS camera that I had still, and I would just have it right there focused on the screen, right? So I had it on there, and you see like the room getting darker because we started getting into totality, because where we were at in Independence, it went totally to totality. And if you've never been through a solar eclipse where, you get to totality, it doesn't last very long. It's maybe 2 to 3.5 minutes, not 2 to 3.5. So it's not a long time. But 40 meters started coming up. You could see it on the waterfall. It was like all of a sudden 40 was on, and then the light comes back, and you still see all the signals. And as it got lighter and lighter, the signals started to dissipate as the D layer repopulated itself. Let me show you real quick. The eclipse coming to Europe is coming up on the 12th. That's not too long, guys. It's less than 2 weeks from now. You can take a look. It's just crushed a little bit there on the western edge of Iceland as it comes south from Greenland. And then it goes all the way over to just the northern part of Portugal and slides through Spain. But there's areas that get quite a bit of solar, shading, basically. Not quite to dark, but, definitely a big difference. Let me explain how we can explain an answer to Anders' question on the program from Friday. When you get to totality, the path of totality you see there, the kind of the shaded in area, right? That's an area that if you're right in the center, you get the longest amount of darkness. If you're toward the edges, it's not as long. You'll still get complete darkness, but it doesn't last very long. But from the ionosphere perspective, here's how it looks. Trying to answer Andrew's question also help some of you guys to know something different. When the sun's X-rays come over to Earth, right, they charge up the ionosphere. That's what the X-rays are there for. It's what they help us get good radio conditions. But once Mr. Moon jumps in the front of the sun and blocks the view of the sun, look what happens to the D layer. You see that? It just goes away. It's not there. And as it gets darker, about 90%, right? 85 to 90%, the D layer really depletes quick. And then as it gets darker, it's just like sunset. Same principle. The D layer just evaporates. And then as the sun returns, it's like sunrise. It's the same principle. But for that totality period, the D layer is gone. You get F1, F2, and they're really strong. So, because there's a lot of X-ray radiation that have hit those, and they're still juiced up. So you've got a great bit of propagation for a few minutes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes that you can work the eclipse, which is kind of nice. So there you go. Anders, there's the answer to your question. Yes, the D layer does go away once you hit totality, and it starts to really improve about 85% dark. That's where you'll see it. Also, Raleigh in New Zealand sent me a few pictures I was going to share with you real quick. This is the area there that's near the FM repeater location that they were asking help for, which we thank you all for doing that. There's a great little spot here. You see the tower. That is a Christian radio station they have there in New Zealand. So that's the site there. Raleigh, thank you for sending that my way. And Spike sent us some stuff from Montana. Take a look. This is looking up the hill to the tower, the fire tower, where they can keep an eye on the forest to make sure, things aren't on fire, and where the fire is the worst. These fire towers have existed for a long time here in the States. They're built of wood, and you think, well, maybe they shouldn't do wood because burns pretty bad. But honestly, that's the easiest way to build them because we have an awful lot of wood. Where? In a forest, right? Right in the forest. So lots of wood, you can build the towers. And that's where Spike was working on Saturday to work his radio from. Spike, thank you for sending me that. I appreciate it more than you know. If you would like to send me something that you're doing in radio, or maybe just something fun, right? Gunter sent me one of this guy that had a whole bunch of beer on these giant glasses. And I showed it yesterday. He puts like a blanket over it real quick and he lifts it up. All the beers are empty, and he's got a big fat gut. It doesn't have to be radio related, is what I'm trying to say. You can send it to us at info@hamradiolive.org. Today's topic question has to do with dreams for your shack. Soon, not necessarily today, but dreams you'd like to do. So what items or item would you like to add to your shack? Tom, he said, Animals had the big hit, but the song was done by many artists over the years. Eric did a great rendition. Yeah, there's been some really neat songs that, well, spin-offs, I should say, redos. The original's pretty cool. It's very, very special, for sure. Bill made a 6-meter contact this morning in Tallahassee, Florida. Little sliver of E still working out there. There's your report. You won't see it. You won't see this on Lake QRZ. Nope, closed. Take a look. Still good to look on 6. Bill, thanks for the signal report. That's nice to see the spot there. Mike says, welcome to the club, Randy. I'm also a member, but don't have my number handy. And I believe you're talking about the 1010 Club? Is that what you're doing? Oh, no, the SKCC. Congratulations on that, Randy. And Mike, too, for being SKCC members. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Gunter, the best cover version, House of the Rising Sun, was performed by Frid Pink. Thank you for that information. We could not, there's no way we could have continued this program without that. Gunter, well done. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Martin in the Netherlands joins us as well. Hi, Martin. Pop Echo 9 Tango India Golf. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming. Spike says, speaking of getting a ham ticket, I have asked several NOAA forecasters, so NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration forecasters, if they had one. Surprisingly, many don't. Wondering why. Now, you're talking about why a lot of people for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration don't have a HEM license? Is that the question? Let us know, buddy. Steve, hello. South Carolina's here. It's all programmed now. Hi, Steve. Happy Wednesday, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. How are things? I hope going well. It's a beautiful summer, for sure. Tom, yes, I wasn't going to say, but thanks for you doing it. He says, for him, it would be the ASU FTDX 101 Delta. Now, this is a neat radio. I had one, and I really liked the radio a lot. I've talked about this before. We're going to try and take a look at your radios if you want to do it. This is kind of a big deal. So we've done this question before, and it's worked really well when we show everybody else's radio, right? So real quick, I know you've seen it. I know you know it. I know you love it, but here is the best picture that I think I can find of this. So let me try and get as good of a picture of it here as I can. So let me share it with you real quick. The 101 Delta. There it is in all of its glory right there. Beautiful radio, HF plus 6. It's got plenty of antenna ports, including 2 receiver antennas. It's very nice. It's got a lot of controllability. If you look carefully at the architecture on this radio, it's got a lot of the features of the 5000. The way it's laid out, very similar to the FTDX 5000. I was grateful that Yaesu did that because, it's a little familiarity with people that are going to SDR hybrid technology and being able to do it that way. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's a great radio. Tom, great comment. Thank you very, very much. Steve Hiscox, welcome. His call sign, Mike 1, Sierra Delta Hotel. Thank you for sending me the link. Not really a link, but to Jace. Jace got a hold of me because you were there. Thank you. Steve's also involved with Bunkers on the Air in the UK. I was honored to hear from him. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Spike says, how long do we keep coming here before we get the secret decoder ring? Well, it really has to do with Larry's mood of the day. A lot of it's that way, but Hey,
McFly!
You don't know. It'll happen eventually, I hope. But if it doesn't, then just, please keep coming anyway.
Hey, that's a joke, son.
Don, but how do we know that was the best version of House of the Rising Sun when it goes back to the 1790s and the origins are actually unknown? Thank you, Wikipedia. Yeah. True. It's true. Yeah. Okay, and Spike, D-kit's all subjective. Okay, thank you. Martin, today's topic question today, 98.6 Fahrenheit. So an air conditioner would be very nice. No kidding. You guys are really warm up there. Man, that's quite hot for you guys. I mean, how often does it get that warm there in the Netherlands? Because typically, you guys are in the lowlands there. You're below sea level, and it's not. I mean, you're far enough north that you get some comfortable days and breezes and all that stuff. But that's really hot, man. To be almost 99 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that, like 36 Celsius? Whew. Oh, that's pretty warm, man. Yes, I think air conditioning would be very helpful, my friend. Bill Myers, because my beautiful bride is watching, I'll say that I need absolutely nothing more in my ham shack. That, sir, is called a wise gentleman move. Yep, I'm happy. Oh no, honey. No, you know what you should do? You should go look at some jewelry. I think you should. Bill, am I starting to get you in a little trouble right now? Oh, gosh. Jeff, Victor Echo 3, Whiskey, Juliet. New car this Friday for the mobile ham shack. That's brilliant. What are you getting, man? Share it with us. We'd love to do that. That's great. Spike is accusing Bill now of having some secret wishes. We're not sure what that means, but Spike, thank you. Thank you. Steve, wear your QRP hat, and she will agree with anything you want. Really? Is that how that works? Because I was told they give you like 3 dB more power on your transmit. Even though you're QRP, you get 3 more dB. But it also is a wife. It's kind of like a wife hypnotizer. I like that. Steve, it's very good. He says, kind of like a new attenuator. I think, honestly, that could be the comment of the show right there. But I don't think Kelly, Bill's wife, likes it. Peter Tork is not the best-looking monkey. Oh, Kel, that's great. Gunter, DK50NV, New Jersey, way up in Germany. He says, ad for my outdoor shack foot warmer for the cold days. Oh, yeah, and those are coming too, man. Oh, gosh. Gunter got a hold of me yesterday or the day before, and he's like, can you believe it, Larry? We're almost in August. And I'm like, oh, that stinks. It's like one more month of summer. Now, here in Central Florida, one more month of summer, yippee, woohoo, okay, yes, come on, calendar. Make it to September. You got this. But like for lots of areas in the world, it's like, oh man, we don't want to lose the warm weather and going out to concerts outdoors and, having maybe our favorite beverage and a meal outside. Gosh, we don't want to lose that. This is a great time of year, right? That makes sense. Foot warmers, because he's already thinking about it. The calendar's moving pretty quick. There you go. Chris, I'm going to let you and Spike take care of this bill, all right? Chris in New York City says, I was only 2 years old and have faint memories of the fair. We're about the same age, man. We really are. Very much about the same age. It's a beautiful fair. Gosh, what a great fair. And most of the area there is still there, right? Except like the Disney people, they pulled the rides out, All of the exhibitors pulled the stuff out. The giant globe fountain, that's still there. But, some of the stuff, you can kind of see where things used to be. But the fair site's still there, which is kind of nice. Mike says a lot of the remnants is still, amazing, Mike. We got like this mind weird thing going on right now. Yes, a lot of it's still there. Yes. Robert Varner, welcome. Excuse me, from New Jersey. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh, I blew Andrew's call, darn it. Oh, well. Lima Bravo 3, Bravo Juliet. Thank you. Oh, man. Spike, today's topic question. Room like launch control at NASA, giant monitors, and those wondrous equipment racks. We can always dream, right? You imagine you've got like this big room and you've got like all these ham radios, oh man. So nice to dream. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And Steve and Bill now are talking about the hat, and but Bill, why'd you have to wear the shirt? The shirt. The Nimrod shirt.
Okay, I'll shut up. I'm not one that has to keep talking. Some fellas just...
Sorry. I love you, Bill. You know that. Dawn in Texas. Telepost Inc. LP700 digital station monitor, but I would recommend that anyone with a rotator consider an Arco Microham rotator controller. That is nothing short of amazing. Don, thank you. God bless you. He's just Don comes in like with the big stuff, like the cool stuff, because Don's got great equipment, So Don's going to give us like the Ferrari stuff, the Rolls Royce stuff. Thanks, Don. You're so awesome. I love you, man. You're pretty cool. Daniel in New Hampshire, 100-watt HF radio. Been a ham 6 years now. I got my extra. Talked all over the world on 20 watts maximum. I want to see what I can do with 100. Wow. That's a comment, guys. That's a comment. How many of us have lots of radios, right? He's just looking for one, one radio. Daniel, it's a great comment. And it's one that we don't get enough here to ground us a little bit and say, okay, we're pretty blessed how we are. Thank you. Good comment. Might be comment of the show. Right now, it's right there. Barry, today's topic question, bird watt meter. Oh, that'd be cool to have. Absolutely. Bird watt meters are really neat. They're so cool. They're just little. They're not like, they're like this big. They're not huge. They're not like that. But they're so reliable and they just don't break. I mean, unless you drop them. I mean, if you're one of those guys that like goes, hey, let's see if this thing will shatter or not by dropping it off the second story here in the fence. Not going to work too well. But if you take care of it, the thing will last you your whole life. That's Barry, thank you. Nice comment. Chris in New York City, last comment for it to scoot. Steve, I promise I'll get to you next. He says, today's topic question, next priority will be an SWR/power meter plus a dummy load, so far using pre-tuned antennas, but would like to verify power output as well as standing wave ratio. After that, an HF set. Haven't decided on that yet. You'll get there. You'll get there. And boy, will you love it when you do get there. Man, it's fun. It really is. You'll enjoy ham radio an awful lot then for sure. I've got a segment coming up that I thought was kind of neato. I hope you do. If you don't tell me this because I have a very, very thin skin here. Diversity reception is the art of picking up a signal. Two different ways. Best way to describe it. Two different places, okay? The best way it works, listening antenna or transmitting antenna, could be either one. And another one about at least, it's like they say a half wavelength, but the closer you get to one wavelength or farther, the better. So if you've got the ability, if you're listening on 20 meters, a wavelength's not that far. But if it's on 40, it might be rough for your property. But you try and get them at least a half wavelength or farther away from each other. And they should be of different polarization too. That's the main thing. So a vertical antenna, right? How's it going to transmit? It's going to be vertically polarized, right? If you've got a dipole and it's flat top, it's a horizontal dipole up top, how's that going to radiate? Horizontal. Okay. You guys know what vertical and horizontal is, right? Don in Texas sent me some things here that are interesting. And I thought, well, let's take a look at them because I think that what he has to say is actually very good. And this is basically the main piece here, okay? The core difference. Polarization diversity is about what you catch. It focuses on the physical structure. Now, again, horizontal, vertically polarized. It uses antennas at different angles to capture waves that have been twisted by reflecting off buildings or obstacles. Remember, when signals hit buildings or mountains or forests or whatever, they can change polarization, okay? Number 2 there, phased diversity, is about how you combine them. It focuses on electronic processing. It takes the signals from multiple antennas and shifts their electrical phases so they mathematically add together perfectly instead of canceling each other out. Okay. This is one piece about diversity, okay? Another way to look at this is diverse reception, simply explained. 2 antennas, different polarization. You've got a radio that's got 2 radio inputs. You can do a transmit and a receive antenna. You could do 2 receive antennas if you want to, if you've got them, but you got to transmit somewhere too, right? But let's say we're going to make it, for the sake of argument, a transmit and a receive antenna. When your radio is able to do diversity reception, what the radio is supposed to do is take one antenna, put it in one ear. The second antenna, put it in the other ear, okay? I'm going to ask you something I don't ever ask on this program. It's not because I have such a great voice. I'm asking if you have the ability to listen on a set of AirPods, earpods, headphones, whatever you've got. In 2 minutes, I'm going to present a video that if you're unable to listen to it right now with headphones, that you listen to this segment replay. Okay? So once this comes up to YouTube, listen to it with stereo headphones. It's going to explain everything about the value of diversity reception, except one thing. I wish I found a video that accurately showed how in one ear you hear the fading, the QS Baker, right? You hear the fading of the signal going down a little bit, and all of a sudden in the other ear, it's strong, okay? When you have QSB that's really bad, okay, really bad, a lot of fading out there, right? Say the VZ's -10, and it's just got lots of fading on the HF bands. If you've got the ability to use diversity reception on 2 antennas, you'll hear most signals. Not all, but most. And what they'll do is when you've got lots of fading, you'll know it because all of a sudden in one ear, you lose the guy, but in this ear, it's still there. It doesn't necessarily have to get stronger. It's not like a scale, where it does this. It's more like this. It's very tight. Diversity reception, when it works, it's not linear, but it's not like this far apart. This segment was done by my friend Mike. We've had Mike on this program from Flex Radio. I think it's the best YouTube video that'll give you at least a taste of how special diversity reception is. Let's get to it. Mike, Victor Alpha 3, Mike Whiskey from Flex Radio. You guys will love this segment. Again, if you don't have headphones or AirPods right now, please replay this and listen. Your ears are in for a real treat.
All right. So I'm just going to turn off. This is RX Assist. We're split over 2 screens because it's a partial remote and a partial local, but I think you'll certainly get the idea. So let's turn on our audio.
What does it look like? Well, I shouldn't ask you that. Never mind.
It's a black box with 2 buttons on it. You can either use it.
Okay, so you'll hear that. It's right down the middle. So I'm going to turn the audio back on. I'm just going to let you listen for a while, and I'm going to point around with my mouse a couple of different things I want you to look at. Then we'll talk about it.
Before they were open wheel cars, and now the bodies look like they're crushed. I mean, they're offset. The one side's higher than the other. They're kind of bizarre looking. They go around the track.
Oh yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we got a lot of that going on up here in Wisconsin, dirt tracks.
Yeah,
a lot
we used to race,
Hellers,
we had a
figure
5/8 oval and a half-mile oval.
a great big oval up at WIR where I raced the drag strip there. They got a whole raceway there.
So let me mute my audio for a minute. So what do we have here? We've got antenna 1 and antenna 1, which is my 80 meter dipole. RXA, which is a DX Engineering active whip. And it's separated by about a wavelength from the two antennas. And I use RX Assist to turn it on and off. Right here, if I hit this div RX, you'll see that we'll lose the second receiver. We can also just turn it on. That's what div means right here. Although the advantage of using div RX is it will turn the preamp up on the receiving antenna. And then we can also play with the AGCT on this line here. This is a little harder to do on a Maestro to do it correctly, so it's better on a screen. And we'll bring it back on.
And run them.
Yeah, that can get ugly too.
Occasionally they, over here at Flat Rock Speedway on the dirt figure 8, they got these cars that's pulling these big campers.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what they do
fun,
up there,
man,
too.
I'll
They
tell
have
you.
camper trailer races. And it's through the figure 8, and you're trying to nail the trailer.
Uh-huh. And not only that, sometimes they even have old school bus figure 8.
Yeah, they do that here, too.
You'll hear at times too.
Yeah, we put it up today.
The signals might be stronger in the active antenna.
Roger, Roger.
What the heck do you do? Get a phone call?
I love listening to 80 meters at night.
And my antenna must be down. I keep talking to him and he never replies.
Yeah, what's going on, Paul? Didn't you hear
He
Grady?
never replied.
Wow, that was a great example.
Double
Come in, Wavy Man Gravy. What did you have, a phone call? Oh, I don't know.
And he's come back to the middle.
You don't know?
Man, I'll tell you what, man, it is raining here. Holy mackerel.
He's not hearing me is what it is. They got that hellified storm.
How can he not hear you?
Heaven only knows, Mikey.
If you heard that on headphones, just a second, guys, I apologize. This throws drive me nuts here. If you got a chance to hear that on headphones, you heard it. And Mike caught that one part where they were completely separate. I mean, one's over here speaking, one's over here speaking. That's a great example of listening. And I must say, there's a little phasing on that. You can hear the phasing. Phasing is an art. It's like an art form that's used in like audiophile work, for example, where a receiver has the ability to spatially delay. It's a quick delay on the speakers, but it creates the feeling that the sound is coming from all around you. If you've ever heard like surround sound, like, you know, in a vehicle or in your house, phasing, a lot of that's done with phasing, but there's a touch of phasing in the flex, but it's still there. You can hear the signals, and it's not meant to come, like if you listened off of one antenna, that would all come in both ears equally. It would be the same. But the fact that they're on two separate antennas from different angles they're coming from a wavelength apart, which is what you really want, you can really use diversity reception to help you fight QSB, because as the signal fades on one, it's not likely to fade in the other, because fading will occur a lot of times because of the BZ, but it also can occur because of terrestrial things like forests and buildings and things like that. It can mess with your receive. Let me show you what's really needed. To do well with diversity reception, okay? You need one antenna, a dipole vertical, fine, doesn't matter, but just make sure the second antenna is different polarization, okay? One additional antenna, a half wavelength, but more like further than that. You want about a wavelength or more from the first antenna. Then make sure to use an antenna, again, that's differently polarized than the first. For example, a vertical antenna and a horizontal dipole, okay? Both are different. Those are different methods of reception. One's horizontally, ones vertically, okay? Then down below the second paragraph, a radio with at least one transmit antenna and one RX antenna input, and you want the radio to have a control to be able to hear diversity reception. Some of the diversity receiver controls that are out there on radios that'll work, and this is just some, not all of them. It would be impossible for me to have a list like that. I've tried to put them alphabetically. Elecraft K4D. The D stands for diversity receive. That's what it stands for. K4HD as well, when they come out with it, will have diversity. Flex Radio 6600, 6700, the Aurora series. Kenwood TS890, I believe, not 100% sure on that, but the 990 does. The ICOM 7610 has it. The 7750, 51, 60 have it. Yaesu FTDX 5000 had it. The 9000 has it. The 101 Delta NMP also has it. And if you're into Apache Labs and Nons, they pretty much all have it. But they can also be on other transceivers as well. The main reason why you use diversity reception is to help you catch when QSB starts to take a signal down, to be able to hear it still with the other antenna. That's really the big deal. By using it, you're going to hear signals that you're normally going to miss or have a hard time hearing because it fades back out. Diversity reception is designed for that. It's to be able to make things better for you on the listening front. Today's topic question with Chris over the top of it, sorry. What would you like to add to your shack soon? We got a lot of people, which we can talk to about this here. And first one was my dear friend Steve in South Carolina. So I'm going to roll up there, and I think this is the first one. Yep. Here we go. Steve, Kilo Oscar 4, Golf Sierra Mike. He's got the best country radio voice in the world. Why aren't you working in Nashville, man? You should be on like WSM on the Grand Ole Opry show. You would host it like that. You get such a great voice. He says, K Bravo 4 X Tango would be who I would check with, as he has checked in multiple times with 30 milliwatts. We're talking QRP, and yes, Steve, I got it right. I got the right Carolina, which is sad because there's only two, right? It's just, anyway. Thank you for your patience, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Bill Myers, yep, he likes his micro ham controller as well. He also likes those products as well. Mike says, here in Jacksonville, we've got a lot of big interest from the local power company with good handful of their employees becoming hams. We've tested over 50 so far. They even have a repeater on there. That's great stuff, Mike. Well done. See, the Duval County group is really good in Florida because they care enough that they want these guys to be licensed. Because I'll tell you, a lot of the QRM that you're getting, the QR Mary, is coming from power equipment. Maybe it's a transformer, could be a wire. And power companies want to know that because they're not supposed to cause a QRM to anybody. So it's important, if you are getting QRM in your station and you think it's coming from a source, call the power company first. I first did that when I had all of a sudden the 20-meter band looked like it had a neon sign right in front of my radio. Truly, because there was just QRM everywhere. It was awful. It was awful. So I called Pacific Power and Light. They sent out a guy. He's got wands and all this stuff. And he sourced it out right away. It wasn't the transformer. It was my neighbor's house. They had a little, it was on a kid and do lot. It's like 4 inches by like 5 inches. It was a waterfall pump volume controller. Just this little box. And it was spewing RFI out for over a city block. Man, watch the power company. They'll help you with that. Gunter's got 36 degrees, Charlie, there. The good news, it'll cool down tonight. It will. Randy says a geochron. You'll love that. It's a neat thing. What's nice about that? Like if you get the Atlas model, right? You put it on like a big screen and you have that like right over your shack. Oh gosh, it's such a beautiful piece. And it's a really, it's modern. It's so beautiful. Just watch how many things you put on it. Because like you can have the satellites, you can have just the space station, you can have what is it? There's a whole bunch of stuff, lightning and weather and all this stuff. And if you put too much on them, you really lose the map. So just play around with it, Randy. You'll love that, man. That's a good thing to do. And Kelly with an update on Bill, which is important. So, of course, we should probably play something like this. This just in, Bill and Kelly's marriage. Kelly says, I'm training him well. That's good. That's always nice. And Bill, yeah, Gunter, happy wife, happy life. You got that right. Yeah, 105 degrees there in the Dallas Metroplex where Dawn is. Whew, that's a hot one for sure. You're getting a Cadillac XT4, no kidding. Okay, now next question. What color? Gotta ask. Color's important, right? Color's important. Okay, Mike, Whiskey Juliet 4, Juliet Echo Alpha is a power company. Club call if you want to look it up. That's pretty sweet. They're getting the power guys on the air now. That's really sweet. And Kelly, you're the first girl outside, your first YL, outside of Jenna and her sister. I can't remember her sister's name. Jenna and and Kim in Southern California to answer something that we have as a topic. So thank you for doing that. She said, today's topic question, Bill would like a comfortable chair for his wife. Oh, well, there you go, Bill. You know, whenever Kelly's birthday's coming up or Christmas is coming up, just get that chair, man. You're going to be a hero. In fact, better yet, Bill, what you do is you say, Kel, you know, I was thinking, let's get out of the house. We haven't done that in a long time. Let's go look for chairs for you. Oh, man. She's already smiling at the computer right now. I guarantee you right now she's smiling. Bill says, I wore the Watersmeet, Michigan Nimrod t-shirt on purpose. I get such kick that they picked Nimrod as their school mascot. Only school in the world with the USA as their in the USA with their mascot. That's true. You're right. It is true. And there might be a reason for that, Bill. Just might be a reason for that. Steve, today's topic question. I wish I would have put my rotor at the bottom of the tower so I could easily access it without climbing the tower. Second on the list would be his and hers matching body harnesses. Oh boy, you're really you're dreaming up, man. Oh gosh. But I get it with the rotator, right? Because you just do it like with like it's almost like a drive line, really. It's in the center of the tower, and as the rotator spins the antenna, it just rotates the drive shaft and it changes the antenna. But it does make it a million times easier to change out the rotator if you got a problem with it, right? Or to fix it, right? I agree with you, Steve. That's a great idea. I don't know why more people don't do that, to be honest, because it makes it much better than having to climb up a 50 or 75-foot tower or higher to be able to work on the rotator. And you're way up there, right? The worst thing you could do, oh gosh, I forgot the pliers. Oh man, no kidding. Oh, that'd be awful. Tom talks about, Callum has done diversity reception, and it's one of the reasons he wants the 101 Delta. It's a great radio. I had it, and it's a great radio. Dennis, he says, I would like to put a hex beam on the roof of my house. Larry, isn't that the dream? But no, I'm ready. I wish I could get my hex beam up higher, 15, 20 feet. I'd be okay with that because, it's a portable hex beam. And I have the mast that can do that, all right? But I have an area that I live in that says you can't do that. So it's down at the bottom. It's all right. It'll come back someday. We're I hope. We'll see. Don, Mike Walker from Flex is great to listen. He's a good guy. Mike's a really nice guy. I enjoyed meeting Mike and spending some time with him. He says he's also on the Workbench podcast, which everyone should listen to, along with a number of other hosts, including George from Pactena. Thank you very much, Don. Very, very nice. And Mike says, LOL, that my friends Paul and the gang from 3/838. Those were some of my friends from 38 megahertz on 80 meters at night. I sometimes be in there with Paul and the gang. Good people. Nice memories, huh? So what he's saying is the guys that Mike Walker was listening to, showing that flex audio demonstration for diversity reception, Mike has worked that net. He knows those guys. Seems to be pretty cool. That's neat. Sunan, welcome. That's Peter in Sweden. Nice to see you, my friend. His call sign Sierra Mike 4 Pop Echo Lima. Now I know it's going to be a great show for sure. Thank you, my friend. Mike's going to try and do a video with his 7760 with diversity antenna set up. Very good. If you've got, do you have more than half a wavelength of property between the antennas? It'll work brilliantly. It's not necessarily something you're going to hear all the time, right? Or need all the time. But when fading's just brutal and you're trying to work DX, it's a great tool. If you're a guy that just wants to hear the ham bend sound cool, okay, that'll work too. But it's really designed to help you pick out call signs and signal reports, because that helps to solve the big QSB. Yeah. Don, phase diversity will cancel out a lot of the noise. The antennas are usually the same polarization with the same S units. No, they're not. No, it's not. That's not. Don, I love you. That's wrong. That one's wrong. Can't say that one. They're not the same polarization. You do separate polarization. You can do the same if you want. Not saying that you can't. You can do it, but you're going to get the results you need with two different polarizations. He says same, unless we're speaking different language here. He says the antennas are usually the same polarization with the same S unit receive. The radio mathematically phases one antenna and combines both. Don, I love you. We can agree to disagree, okay? I'll leave it at that. Anders, welcome back. Good to see you. A small joke, but kind of true. Add my wife, get a license, and the pileups will come automatically. Just put her on the air. That's all I got to do. Sunan, use diversity to cancel out local noise. That works always. That's a good thing. Chris, new electric power meters put out quite a bit in the UHF, SHF range, 5G cellular. Yeah, you know what? Some stuff just is loud. It just is, and they have to be able to choke it out. It's tough. Kill 13.6 degrees Celsius, 56.48 degrees Fahrenheit there. It's a nice day. That's a cool day for you, but it's a nice day, of course, and that's Kjell in Norway. And Anders, who's just over the line there in Sweden. Wait, or Anders is Norway too, right? Yes, because he looks just like Sig Hansen. I remember from Deadliest Catch. I had to think of that. 24 degrees Celsius here at time 2032. Yes. Dennis. Laughing my rear end off, these dirty old hams. Bill, oh, Larry, you're giving Kelly too many ideas. Stop now, please. Just kidding. She was laughing at your comment. I had a feeling she was. Let's get to the angry hams. The trivia follows next. And if you're not careful, as they said in the old Cosby show, you just might learn something.
Let's put this show out of its misery.
You know what? That was, believe it or not, I'm going to play it a second time because that was the very first Angry Hams we ever did. It was done on in early January of 2021.
Let's put this show out of its misery.
There you go. That's it. First Angry Hams. And they've been with us now for, geez, what is that now? 5 years. Amazing. Where is the world's tallest earth-grounded broadcasting mast antenna located? All right. Read carefully. the Earth-grounded broadcasting mast. A is Dubai, B, Singapore, C, North Dakota, USA, and D, Saudi Arabia. Where is that tallest mast at? A, B, C, or D? First one right, we'll give you an awful lot of love. Good luck, everybody. Don, polar diversity can be done with a vertical and a loop on the ground. Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks, Don. Appreciate you. Yeah, I love you, man. You know I love you. You know I do. But you have that wrong. You want them different polarization. You just do. That's why you're doing it. Otherwise, you could put two antennas a wavelength apart, and they're going to hear exactly the same. They will. First one, Barry Wendon's got A, Dubai. No, but I'll tell you something on that one. Bill Myers from Wisconsin's got C, North Dakota. He's right. Unbelievable. Well done, Bill. There it is. Let me share this. By the way, Kill got B. Ambassador Earl, welcome. He is Kilo Echo 4, Echo Victor Romeo, listening from Florida. Welcome, Ambassador Earl. It's nice to see you here. Thank you, my friend. Man, oh man. Chris had C. Guys, a lot of you knew this. You really did. Mike as well. Okay, here's the deal. The Dubai Tower, the largest building in the world, that's not an earth-grounded broadcasting mast, but it is the tallest antenna in the world outside of one on a mountaintop, right? So on a building, it's the tallest one, obviously. The North Dakota, USA one is KVLY television. The mast is over 2,000 feet high. In fact, some say it's 2,063 feet high. I would never in a million years want to climb and change the light bulb on any part of that tower. Question 2 today. How long does a half-wave dipole need to be close to resonant on, oh no, let me change. This is wrong. Don't answer these. Hold on, this is good. I don't know why I changed that wrong. Sorry. On 7.2 megahertz. So you want to be resonant on 7.2. How long does the dipole have to be? And this is both legs, okay? So both pieces of the dipole. How long does it need to be? A, 65 feet, which is 19.8 meters. B, 32.5 feet, which is 9.9 meters. C, 63 feet, which is 19.2 meters. Or D, approximately 130 feet, which is 39.6 meters. Okay, both ends, total in length. Okay, A, B, C, or D. Question 2. Can Bill go 2 for 2 today? We'll find out. Alan Davis, welcome back. Gosh, it's great to see you, my friend. Alpha Charlie 4 Hotel India. Really nice to see you, buddy. He's got B, approximately 32.5 feet, which is 9.9 meters, okay? Kjell in Norway's got B as well. Barry Wendon in the UK's got B as well, okay? We're just going to kind of see if we can get a few more answers in here, and then we'll tell you what it is. Mike had B as well. Let's see. Bill is going to go with C again because he guessed the first time, and now he's staying with it for the second time too. All right, let's take a look. Question 2, the answer is A, approximately 65 feet, which is 19.8 meters long. To be resonant, and at the end says 1.9. Guys, I'm so sorry. It should be 7.2. So 7.2 megahertz. There you go. So that is actually the answer, and I am just going to check to make sure I've got it right because I've already gotten into the diversity receive thing here, and I don't want to ever argue with anybody. I'm not that guy. I just don't also want people to get really wrong information if they go all the trouble of building an antenna like that. That would suck. So let's see, close to resonant. We're at 468. Larry's doing math. Just a moment. I know it's right. I'm sure it's right. 460. Gosh, where's my calculator? Thank you. 468 divided by 7.2, 65 feet. My gosh, I got one right. Yeah, 65 feet. It's 19.8 meters. To be resonant, close to resonant, 7.2. Always keep your antenna links a bit longer so you can cut back on them. Better to cut back a little bit than to have a short antenna to begin with. And that's just the way it is. Mike says, correction, D. Bill with B. Tom with B. And Kiel, put in the wrong frequency. It'll happen, my friend. Notice the differences here, though. B is correct for a quarter wave. That should be about 32.5 feet long, 9.9 meters. D is for a full wave, which would be 130 feet long, or 39.6 meters. Last question. Which countries besides North Korea ban citizens from getting a ham radio license? Ooh. A is Turkmenistan and Myanmar. B is Iran and Chad. C is Rwanda and Burundi. D is Yemen and Eritrea. Eritrea. I did it. That's a tough one. Eritrea. Okay. So A, B, C, or D. There is actually one of these two. Actually, both of them don't have hams. So there you go. Alan, Alpha Charlie for Hotel India. My bad. I thought he said each leg. It's okay. Chris, 300 per divided by feet and megahertz equals full. No, Chris. Chris, it's 468 divided by frequency. And that's for a half wave. A full wave, no. Your full waves, no. 468. And then if you're going to build a quarter wave, like if you want to build a quarter wave antenna, it's 234. It's half of that, so. First up, Kjell in Norway again with B. He's got A, Turkmenistan and Myanmar. Nope, not it. Barry, second in Iran and Chad. No. Bill is sticking with C. Nope. That leaves one. Mike in Jacksonville with B. Tom in Bulgaria has A. Ooh, boy. Well, okay. Where are we at, guys? We're missing one of these letters with two different countries. And the one is that we're doing... Okay, Chris. Okay. The one we're doing is D. D is Yemen and Eritrea. And that's the answer. Yeah, both do not allow you to have ham radio licenses. Here's where they're located, both in the Middle East, just separated there by, I think it's the Red Sea, right? So it's right there in Eritrea, and then across from them, kind of on the southern edge, right, is Yemen. And both of them do not allow you to have a ham radio license. Little buggers. Well, someday maybe. It's interesting because this hobby's been around now for over 100 years, right? And it's kind of like we're good, they know we're going to be able to help in times of need, but they just want to control the narrative a lot, so they won't do it. Yep. Well, that's it. You've learned a little bit, at least. I hope you did, because this last one was kind of fun. I think so, at least. I hope you learned a little bit, because it's one of those things that, when I do these, I put them together by hand every day, and I do it because we've been told it's easier to see, but I probably won't do this for too much longer. Just a little bit, yeah. So there you go. It is Yemen and Eritrea. There you go. Today's topical question has to do with what you'd like to add to your ham shack. Honestly, I'm good. I've got an antenna that works. I'm grateful for that. I think if you're going to look at, an antenna, it'd be nice to have it up higher. Gosh, I'd love that. But it doesn't have to be, right? You can still work it low. And that's very important, I think, It's very, very important. And I hope that when you watch this show, I'll make mistakes. And I'll tell you if I've made a mistake. I will. I'll own every mistake. I've owned every one I've ever made. But I'll get a little bit more defensive, I guess, and push back if I've really researched something out, if I've really done that. And in this case with diversity receive, I have. So try and get them. If you want to do it, just 2 different antennas, just 2 different polarizations, and then listen. It's pretty cool. It's really cool, actually. And don't forget, we also have we have a commercial from way back. Gosh, we haven't played it in like 3 or 4 years. And then we have a new close down for the BBC. It was on New Year's Eve of 1970, which is kind of neat, to find those things. I think so. If you'd like to get your ham radio license, the Radio Society of Great Britain would love to hear from you. Reach out to them at www.rsgb.org. Click on the contact part of their page. Tell them you'd like to get your ham license and where you live in the world. They will then send back to you a local to you ham radio club. www.rsgb.org to the Radio Society of Great Britain. They're good people. That's the show for today. My gosh, we're getting out of here earlier than normal today. We're in here an hour and 20. Amazing. Thanks for coming, everybody, wherever you may be. Comment the show. Don't forget that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Chris, you keep asking, why? Can I ask you a weird question? I know you were studying to be an extra, and I'm glad you are. Why are you doing this? I don't understand. Are you trying to ask or tell us that 300 divided by frequency in megahertz is a full wave in meters? It makes no sense. I'd like to help you. The frequency measurement here in the States, they give you a quarter wave is 234, a half wave 468. If you want a full wave, double 468. Okay, that's the math there. And you're good at math, buddy. In meters, the formula, I guess, it's been a long time. Let me find out so we give you the right answer, because I think you're asking a question, but you're making a statement. So I'm not sure what you're doing. Meters. Let's just go. Let's try this. We'll make it this way. Antenna formula for half wave dipole antenna in meters. Okay. And it's, hold on a second. Divide 150 by the frequency in megahertz. 150. All right. So for a half wave dipole, 150. For a full wave dipole, 300. There you go. Okay. So if that's on your test and you want to know that, that's the correct answer. If you want to build an antenna in the United States and you're using meters, you're the only guy I know who's doing that. But hey, have fun with that, really. Sorry. Dennis, oh no, Larry's going to need a channel warning now. Be careful, or you may just learn something. You know what? If I'm wrong, I'm totally cool with that. That's why I tried to figure out what Chris was saying. And because I want to do the right thing. I do. And I know he's studying for his extra, and that's important to him. But I don't think Chris is going to build up an antenna and have his yardstick out there, meter stick out. He's here in the States. That's all. Guys, here's something I would like to tell you before I close today. It's very important, okay? I make mistakes, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally cool. Do a live show, anything on YouTube for 5 years, and then look at yourself in the mirror and say, are you doing your best? I can do that, okay? And I'm good at saying I make mistakes, and I admit my mistakes. I do. And, I do the best I can on the show. I do the very best I can. There's going to come a day when the show was not going to be here. And if we make it to 1,000, that'll be the end. And I hope that the shows play well in replay for years to come. I hope people enjoy it and realize I'm here because I care about people in ham radio and licensing up. It's very important to me. It truly is. But please understand that, I think sometimes people are so used to being right that they don't know what it's like to be wrong. And they'll fight you to hell. They'll fight you to hell on it. Life's too short, guys. Wherever you may be. My name's Larry Deal. My call sign, Amateur Radios, Kilo 7, Hotel November. God bless you. Goodbye, everybody.
Family Auto Mart, where the wheeling and dealing starts. Family Auto.
You want this car? You can get it. At Family Auto Mart, you got credit. At Family Auto Mart, you'll be pleased as punch. We're wheeling and dealing. You'll save a bunch.
Family Auto Mart, where the wheeling and dealing starts. Family Auto Mart, when you want a great to be smart.
Hey. Do I look slender?
What are you doing this weekend? I'm putting up a retaining wall. Do it yourself? No, I'm going to get some broken. Oh, come on, mate. Do it yourself. She's a pretty big job. Oh, you'll be right. You reckon? We can knock it over in half a day. Yeah? Get a couple mates around. Hey, Jonesy! Huh? Give us a hammer for job Saturday. Mate, you're dreaming. Aussies. No surprises there.
DIY. It's in our DNA.
It's just a dream. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful.
And now the weather forecast for coastal waters of England and Wales until 1800. Pressure will remain high to the west, and a trough of low pressure will move south. Cloudy, 20 miles, 1019, falling slowly. And that's the end of the forecast for coastal waters of England and Wales. And it's also the end of broadcasting for Thursday, the end of broadcasting for 1970, and the beginning for 1971. The time now is 5 minutes past midnight on the 1st of January 1971. This is Douglas Smith wishing you all good night. We'll be with you again in the morning. Good night, everyone.
That's all, folks.